You're in charge this time.
Now, winter 1966. And that was the last winter, before we left China. And is this written in sand?
Snow.
Snow. Perhaps.
So Cultural Revolution is raging?
Yes.
Yes, it was. It was going.
Oh yes, it was snow. Isn't that lovely? That was our courtyard.
That's the Hutung house.
Yeah. In Beishuai Fu Hutung.
Correct.
Very close to the...
6 inches of snow.
That's terribly unusual in China.
Yes, I know.
Because the winter was normally
Are these the
extremely
boys
dry.
sitting there?
No. Those are our
Lions.
Our lions. And
Christmas
our Christmas
tree covered with
that's right.
snow.
Terribly unusual in China because it was usually so dry. And I see they've made a snowman, which is nice. And there's...
La Wang.
And
And Da Shifu.
And it's Da Shifu, is it? Yes. That was our cook. Da Shifu was our cook. La Wang was our number one
And
boy.
this was a courtyard. You had to go through this moon gate to get in.
Into the central bit.
There's the
That was
front
the
door.
front door outside, that's right. Always painted in red. And that was our hutum. And I have a feeling that that man walking away was the honeycart man who used to empty the latrines.
This one?
Not that one, no, the one we watched first.
Oh.
But do you see that his legs?
Is that to stop the smell going in? Or
Please. Honestly.
well, they were called the honey cart,
What?
remember, this
Yes.
thing that emptied the loos.
Look at these lovely roofs with the snow, accentuated by the snow. It's lovely.
That's not a house, that.
No, these are the hutum houses, darling.
There it is. Oh, there's a lovely man, the cactus again.
Yes, that's right. That looks like our car. Or anyway, a diplomatic car. I think we were so excited at snow, which was so unusual.
Yes.
Funny little grey lanes known as the hutungs, as opposed to the great big broad boulevards.
It became so quiet and nobody around.
Yes.
Of course, if it was the middle of the culture, it was. There's no wall posters up in the streets, darling.
Well, this wasn't
It was before.
this wasn't a commercial road. Remember the
No, but I
posters used to be
do.
up.
Posters I put up in our Hutung.
Were they?
Yes, and
I'd
we
forgotten that.
had a guard put on our Hutung.
Only
so-
towards the end, when all sorts of things were happening.
Yes, but
It might be the yes,
the beginning of
of
winter.
66.
Yeah. But look at this as a pedicab. That's a typical scene, isn't it? There's a bicycle, a pedicab, and pedestrians.
And chaps sweeping up the streets to get.
And the only cars, that one that we saw earlier, was a diplomatic one.
Mm.
Wouldn't be like that now. And that's a main street, isn't it, darling?
Yes, it
It's the
is.
Tiananmen. No. What was the big...
Forbidden
road
City.
No, what was the big road called?
More footing.
No,
That's the side entrance to the Forbidden City we were looking at a minute ago.
oh,
See, that's not the. This goes into the Forbidden City. Oh, there's Virgil Berger.
I thought it was John...
There's Virgil.
Is it Virgil?
Yes.
On his house,
Yes.
perhaps.
Measuring the snow.
And that's a view from the top of his
The top
house.
of his house. That
which
was
had
the
a
house
tower.
in which Anthony Gray
was
was
imprisoned. That's
for
right.
what we did in Hong Kong.
Virgil was working for
Reuters.
Was right. As indeed was Anthony Gray.
Anthony Gray, yes. Sweeping the roads.
Yes.
Not being terribly
Well, it's
effective.
not going to be very
Not very effective, but still.
No. And a bus. Gosh.
It must have been about September or so, I think.
No, it must have been later
But what
than
are
that.
these?
Oh, it must
What
have
are these people? They're walking down the
Yeah.
sides, being cleared of snow.
it might be the very beginning, sort of January '66.
Yes,
before
it
it's
could
all-
be.
Ah, much more like it.
Yeah,
January '66, that's
right,
right,
before it
guys.
started.
Before the Cultural Revolution. Because that's the
Forbidden
Forbidden
City.
City, yeah? Yes, it must have been before the Cultural Revolution really got underway. Cause
Where are we filming from? Because if that's the Forbidden City, we're up high.
at Virgil's house, I think.
We couldn't see the Forbidden City from his house, could we?
Well, it was on the way to the Forbidden City, remember? From his back window, maybe you could see it.
Maybe.
Who was she?
I don't know. Somebody from the embassy, I think. And looking down onto this typical little courtyards.
This
these
is all
little
Forbidden
houses.
City, the corner of the Forbidden City with these huge gatehouses.
Isn't it lovely?
That's your Peking, black and white.
Yes.
Oh, they've got a huge snowplow out. Look,
Gosh,
very Russian, I think, that one.
it must be.
There's a
It's a
pedicab.
pedicab,
Oh,
yes.
nice. Wait. Is that one of us?
I don't know. Yeah.
Now that was you cleaning our front door, wasn't it?
No,
It wasn't.
And they're wearing hats, aren't they?
Waiting for the bus. It must have been January, February 1966, before we went to Ulaanbaatar. Before Mongolia, this was taken.
Because we were there in May, weren't we? When we went.
We were in May in Ulaanbaatar, and when we came back, the Cultural Revolution was in full swing. Just really, the Red Guards were out and everything. The war posters were up
So
there.
this is just before that. I think I was probably filming this, and I'm obviously obsessed with roofs. Oh yeah.
Well,
Photograph a lot of roofs.
you could say that, I think. Of course, that makes sense. I do remember the walls of the hotel were plastered with notices in there, the wall posters.
Yes.
And we had a sentry box outside the front door.
Where are they walking? What are they doing? This is a park of some sort. Perhaps to clear the things.
Zizan Park, maybe.
Maybe. Lovely, lovely lion. Look at his tail.
He's not a lion, he's a griffon, I think.
Is he a griffin? Oh.
Something,
A very frightening tail, anyway.
mixture of dragon and something else.
They're very good at preserving their trees. Do you know, there's beautiful old trees, particularly in the
The
Forbidden
skill
City.
of gardening and the skill of architecture.
Yeah.
So you can't kill that in a revolution.
No. Look at those piles of
And now
snow.
where's that Temple of Heaven? And
No.
it looked like a
No, look, it's not blue.
oh no, cleaning the snow there. Common effort.
Look at the piles of it. A hutu.
But who's Huzo?
I don't know.
Is that the Forbidden City?
I think it is with a chair and the
Yes, that-
it is the Forbidden City.
The Forbidden City,
Gosh,
yes.
doesn't it look magnificent on the
Absolutely
snow?
magnificent.
The
Look at
contrast with
scale,
the colour,
look at the
yes, scale of
scales
it,
of
yeah,
the
the
men and
doors.
the gates and everything.
Yes. And no tourists again.
Two camels
camels,
sitting by
yes.
themselves, sheltered,
Protected under the shelter.
protected by the
Yes,
snow.
yes.
From the snow. More Forbidden City from across the way.
Where's the sun?
Oh, who is this?
No,
Jamie?
I think it's John.
Is John pushing the chair with his
pushing
skates?
a chair, yes. Learning to
And
skate.
who is that, Nancy?
Possibly.
No,
Jamie's the
Jamie
tall
and
one.
John.
That's right, on their skates.
On their
Their
skates.
little skates. And I think other members of the embassy. Was it on the around the Forbidden City? Was it on the moat?
of the Forbidden City.
It's
yes.
not that it's not
No,
it's not the summer
suddenly-
palace, is
Suddenly
it?
it's become summer again.
No, I think it's just sun.
It's
No.
just sunny. Oh, that's the Summer Palace, isn't it? Look, here's
Summer Palace Lake. That's Jamie.
This is Jamie skating towards
Yes, he
us.
skates.
Oh,
That's
look,
right.
at that, look at that! Look at that professional skater, and look at the way the arms are going.
Yes.
It's disappearing into the distance.
Like running away on the beach.
Yes, I know. It's always
in Normandy.
always
It's
running away.
away.
Yes, definitely. As fast as he can from
Yeah.
the family. And that's that
that lovely bridge. It's
in
that
the
graceful
Summer
arch
Palace.
bridge.
That's a beautiful
It
bridge.
is the Summer Palace. And covered in snow. And of course what we didn't know is that it was silting up.
And then they were sitting on
lake.
sledges.
Yes, and
poling them
poling
along.
themselves along. Yes, that's right.
Mm.
Having a race.
Summer Palace again, but
Still the same. Look,
yeah.
look, they're skating. It's still the same.
And there's someone kneeing on the sledge.
Yes. And one or two people rather
They
gingerly.
They loved us sliding, didn't they?
Yes,
they,
yes.
They did.
Well, it was such an excitement to get onto the lake,
yeah.
because normally you couldn't get on, could you? And so good for them from exercise, people learning. That's what I looked like when I was trying to learn.
A soldier with his fur cap.
And is that Jamie? Yes, there's Jamie.
Jamie in his white
That's right,
jumper. Yes.
racing round
Racing
with
with
everybody else.
everybody else. And they're cutting blocks of ice out here.
They're going to make an ice house, were they?
I think so. Anyway, but the great slabs of ice are hooked up. Sit down to get them.
That's to keep food frozen, perhaps.
Because of you. Hard work.
They may have wanted to get the
It takes to realise the manpower was put to a hard task and trying to always.
wasn't it? Well, they had plenty of labour, certainly, didn't they?
Mm.
I wonder what they were going to use it for. Was it to just clear something so that
Clear the
a boat
waterway?
could come through, so that a
Maybe.
boat could come through?
Maybe.
Or was it to use the ice for something?
Difficult to tell.
It's a lovely roof, isn't it?
That's again Forbidden City, that one. Oh, now here's our own little Hutung house.
Yes,
James and John clearing it up. You know, they were put to
Yes, well
task
done.
and
That's
they're made
quite
to
right.
do jobs, James and John.
Yes.
Slave labour.
Oh,
even.
yeah, look at that. Look at John. They're doing terribly well. Moving the...
Making a bundle, says he again.
Yes. Oh, darling little John. He's such a sweetheart.
Is that our house? Or is in the
I
Hutung
think it's the
itself? In
Hutung, yes, the
yeah.
Hutung roofs and things.
And there was
And there's the chimney from the
chimney in the
hospital.
I was thinking they were burning bodies or something.
Yes, well, they might have been.
Waste.
They might have been.
waste.
And certainly the hospital waste.
That's further up the Hutung. Now this is. Oh,
This is
the
our Hutung.
Swedish embassy.
There was
That-
further up the Hutung from
That
us.
was the badge we just seen, the Swedish embassy.
Where do we park our car?
Outside the door.
Must have been outside the door.
Yeah, well, there's Jamie.
Jamie outside the door.
Sue.
Oh, with Angus.
There's Angus. That's
Yes,
that's
there's a
typically
baby.
Angus, doesn't
Yes.
he?
Yes. He does. And ask you with her hair still long.
Yeah,
it
I
hadn't
think-
been cut off,
no,
did you
but I
notice?
thought that Angus was jumping up and down.
Well, he will be.
What's this? Snow?
I don't know.
I
I think it stopped. It has. What a pity.